This is a training video on HLS on how to make a ViewMeter for your song. I did a video last night on how to do beat tracks using DSP, envelope processing, etc. And in the post that I put, I suggested you could also use the same capability for a ViewMeter, and that seemed to pique an interest. So it piqued my interest too. I've never done it before. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and see if we can come up with a ViewMeter. Now, I'm going to come up with a quick and dirty one. We're going to build a ViewMeter in about 10 or 15 minutes here, all the way from conception all the way through preview. If I was doing it for a real display, I think I'd put a little more time, a little more precision in, but we're just going to kind of slam through it right here. Okay, just to get you a walkthrough so you get the feeling. This is what I'll call a virgin sequence. The only thing in here right now is our wave. This is Music Box Dancer. Happens to be one that I like. If we look here, we can look at the left channel. There's not a whole lot of movement on the left channel whatsoever. It's just kind of dead until you get down into here. If we look at the right channel, we've got a lot more movement. So I'm going to make the ViewMeter respond to audio energy levels or amplitude levels on the right side. I'm going to build a ViewMeter consisting of 9 segments. The idea is you could use pixels, but we're going to stay kind of low tech. We're going to take incandescents, or we're going to take LEDs, and we're going to take 3 colors. We're going to take 2 strings of red, 3 strings of green, and 4 strings of blue. And take a pole or take something and kind of wrap it like you would an arch, and we're going to do it in a vertical pole. So we're going to have 9 segments. For my implementation, we're just going to turn the segments on, and they will get on, they will build up as the audio grows, and they'll shrink. We're going to keep all of the intensities at 100. If I was doing it for my show, I might go a little bit further and have the intensity of the segment go like from 50 to 80 to 100 before I move to the next segment. Okay, I'll leave that to you to figure out how to do it. It's really easy. I'll talk to you, I'll show you how to do it, but it's really easy. But for this one, we're just going to stick with 9 simple segments. So let's go in and add 9 channels. And we'll call these ViewMeters. And these are non-RGB. So we want to set the color. So in the preview and on the grid, we can see what color. Well, we already have red selected, so we're going to make the first 2 red. I am right-clicking on the cell to make it red. Now we're going to make green. I'm going to right-click on the next 3 to make it green, and then I'm going to take it blue, and I'm going to click on the next 4 to make it blue. There, we have our ViewMeter, and that's effectively what it's going to look like in the display. And each one of these segments are going to get lit as the energy level in the audio bounces. So this thing will sit there and bounce up and down. Now, in order to put it on the preview, we've got to have some preview groups. So we're going to come down here. We're just going to start at group 1. We're going to go to channel 9. And now we have group 1 is our red all the way down to 1.9 is going to be our lowest blue. So we can save that now. Let us assign them so we can get them on a display. So I've checked the 9 for the ViewMeter, and we'll just call it VM for short. Don't like to type a lot. Now let us display VM on the grid. There we go. Now we got it on the grid. Let's save this. Just in case something happens, we don't have to do all that work over again. Okay, now let's go to audio files. Let us do a create envelope of the right channel. You see red now. What HLS has done is it's analyzed the waveform, it's taken the positive half of the waveform, and it has digitized it between a value, or normalized it between a value of 0 and 100. And it paints this stair step relative to whatever value is at that tick mark. And if we were to slide on down, you're going to notice it goes up and down, and we get down here towards the end, and you can see it really falls down where there's very little audio. Okay? So what it's done is it's enveloped our waveform with values between 0 and 100. So we have our display. Now we're going to do an envelope profile. If we look over here, this is a histogram. So it says there is one value out there at 100. There's one value at 99. And if you come on down here and look, you've got the complete histogram. Now to save time, I've kind of looked and I've decided that between 0 and 85, which is only going to be, it's probably going to be about 20. It's going to be about 20 in the whole thing. That top red's going to hit. So we're going to do that first one from 85 up. And then I went down and I said, okay, from 85, we're going to go to 77. And I just kind of walked through here without a whole lot of analytical precision, and I just kind of chopped them up. It's probably not good. In reality, I would probably want to give my top end a little more, but we'll just give it a try for now. Okay? So now what you do is you do the start. We're going to start from 85. Remember, our very top one, we want it to turn on any value between 85 and 100. We want it to turn on the channel full intensity. And we want to pick the channel, which is going to be our view 1. Our next one is going to start at 77. And it's going to turn on all the way to 100. Because remember, we want it on as the audio builds from 77 up. We also want it on too. It's going to be a value of 100. And it's going to be ViewMeter 2. Let me pause and I'll fill in the rest so I don't have to bore you with filling in the rest of this. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I filled in the grid. So the lowest level blue is going to come on when we have audio that's at least 5 units of intensity all the way up to 100. It's going to turn on. The next segment's going to turn on when there's audio between 20 and 100. The next one will be between 30 and 100, 40, 50, 60. These probably aren't a good distribution, but again, this is just for training. These are all going to turn on for 100% intensity. If I was doing it for real, what I might end up doing is dividing this down and having, let's say, 2 channels here. One comes on at 50% red, and then the other one comes on at 100% red. So all I would do is add some more and just make alternating or make different values in here with the same channel. So I'd have 2 rows with ViewMeter 1. One would be at 50, one would be at 100, and they would have a different range. So when the segment first turned on, it would turn on with kind of a dull red. And as it grew, then it would turn a bright red. Then the next one above it would turn on dull red, and then it would turn bright red. So for 9 segments, you could actually get 18 levels of audio being shown in 9 segments just by also changing the intensity. Okay? In order to do, when we hit OK, HLS is going to try to do all of this. If you don't put something here, it's going to use a default. So you have to design a default channel just so it fills in. Okay? So we are going to click OK. And there we go. Let us save this. Always good to save. Now, if you look at this, this kind of gives you exactly what your ViewMeter is going to look like. Because we come along here, and there's a red there, and there's some reds starting to pop up. And we come down here, and there's some more reds. And here's some more. I tell you what, let's set we're going to set a shot here so we can come down and see our reds bouncing. Okay? So that's what she's going to look like. She's going to look like she's bouncing right on through here. Okay? So now we've got our channels. We've got all of our, let's go into the preview. We're going to pick, I got a blank preview meter here. Come on. Mine's in development. So your preview screen stays up. Mine keeps hiding itself because I got to be able to get at the code if I'm debugging. So that's why I have to keep bringing mine up. Okay? So we could fill these things out of lines, but all we'd get is a straight line. So I'm going to use a custom to build this. All right. So, and I'm going to use a specific size custom. See, it disappeared. So we're going to go custom, and we're going to use a, let's use a 3 by 5 cell custom. And we'll pile it up right here. So we come along here, and we're going to do that. We hit the space bar, and now we have it up. And this is going to be VM1. Okay, so it's going to be our first one. Now, what you can do is you can come in here and you can right click. You want to assign this as a dumb channel. And it's VM1 here. Hit OK. Now, if I switch views over here, that actually tells me I assigned Universe 1, Channel 1. Okay? Now, in fact, I want all of this as Universe 1, Channel 1. I've got to give a name to this. So we're going to call this VM1. This is our big red one. Now, here's a new feature. I can put that channel count, 1-1. That's group 1, channel 1. I hit fill, and guess what? They're all filled now. Isn't that nice? Now we can say OK. Now I can say I'm going to make another custom. And it's going to be 3 by 5. Come down here, pull it up. We'll make another custom here. And this is going to be VM2. And I know for a fact this is going to be 1-2. And I can fill them in. Oh, VM2. And we click OK. Now we have VM2. So I'm going to pause you as I go by and I fill these rest. Don't want to hang you around here for the boring stuff. Be right back. So I am back. I finished drawing it. I was gone for about 7 minutes, just to give you an idea of the time frame. So I have all 9, and I clicked on move, and I kind of just put them up in this vertical, kind of a corny looking vertical thing. And that's it. So once we get them assigned, we hit save. Save is complete. And we exit. Now we're going to play the guy. Now, so we turn on preview. Yes, we want to build it. Bring this guy up here. And we hit play. And I got to get it to show. There we go. And we have our ViewMeter running.
The most famous classic.
When we get down here, when the tempo starts in, you'll start seeing a little more of the red pop up. See, I'm giving you background bass while we're doing that. We'll just hang in here a little bit longer. Some of them are. There we go. Now we're starting to get it. So that's it. What we've done is we've taken our audio, and we probably have I've spent about 4 or 5 minutes offline. I think I might have said 7, or probably less than that. But in probably less than 10 or 12 minutes, we have totally gone from audio. We've built a ViewMeter. We've constructed our effects. We've constructed our preview. And we have a ViewMeter that is actively responding to our audio. I hope you enjoyed this training. Take what I've given you and expand on it. Christmas is coming. Enjoy.